Okay, another model concept that I'm working on. I've got a bunch of models going right now, which is kind of fun having these days off from teaching. But I've got my flying sub drying still, I've got my flying wing drying still, and I've been thinking of this for a couple of weeks now already, but I've got several of these Return of the Jedi snap kits, so everything's the same scale, and I've got two of the MPC TIE Fighter kits that have 2 TIE Fighters per kit, same scale as this too. So what I'm thinking of doing is another diorama that would be a launching platform either from a Star Destroyer or for the Death Star for the TIE Fighters. And that's kind of my working idea right now. So I just wanted to do an unboxing. This Golden Opportunity kit. Okay. So first sprue. So you've got cockpit elements to it, the rear to the dome, whatever the main part of the ship is called, where the pilot sits, that the cockpit is contained by. I really like the Interceptor wings on this. I'm not sure what to call them other than wings. I always thought that was a cool design when that came out. What's funny, looking at this, wow. That's crazy. Okay, see the landing gear? I swear that is exactly the same size as the landing gear for the much larger scale Darth Vader TIE Fighter. That is exactly the same size as the landing gear that comes in that thing. So I guess somebody was was not really giving much of a care about scale and putting out these kits. Okay, so there's this, and that's kind of a tight fit, so I'm going to have to drill those a little bit because that's just too tight. Okay, and that goes on the wing. There's the pilot. Not sure if that is a part or not. And then interestingly, the base for it kind of reminiscent of Star Trek more than Star Wars, I would have to say there. Not sure why the lenses are smoked glass, but that's what they are. Okay. Now let's take a look at collect Golden Opportunity tokens and get a bonus MPC kit free way back in the day. So collecting these little tokens, I guess, and you can mail in way back when for one of these kits. Everything from the F4 Corsair and 1/72nd scale down to Space Shuttle and a 1/12 scale steam fire engine for only 100 tokens. Interesting. I remember as a kid myself, I don't ever remember giving a crap about anything like that. I just wanted to build the model and play with it. So very simple instructions. Obviously not going to be very much to a snap kit. I am going to light this, however. Boy, those landing gear just... that is so crazy. And how in the world are they supposed to fit within the craft itself being so huge? There's just There's just nowhere within the confines of the cross arms. So the landing gear insert there, there's just, if the landing gear gets retracted, where the hell does it go? That just I'm sorry, but I have to just laugh at that. That is so outrageous that they just repurposed the landing gear from the Darth Vader kit for this much smaller scale kit. Oh, that really just cracks me up. What's interesting is the Darth Vader one, I believe, this set of cross members here is a separate part that you slide onto it to add the extra difficulty to that kit. Whereas here, this is all just one solid piece. But crazy that they did it that way. Funny. But good detail. And I'm looking forward to figuring out how I'm going to light this, what the space will be for things. Now what's missing is that if you look at the Darth Vader kit, which again is a larger scale, there are the impulse, they're like maneuvering thrusters maybe. It's a piece here and a piece here and one down here and one down here. 4 identical pieces that you attach to that kit. Those pieces are not part of this kit at all. And it's not molded onto the piece either. But those pieces that you would attach to the Darth Vader TIE Fighter, they have 2 spots that you drill out. Is it 2 spots or 1 spot? I forget which. I did it for an old build of a Darth Vader that I did a long time ago. But you can light those, because when you watch the original first Star Wars movie, which as a kid it was just called Star Wars, and then it became Part 4. But when Darth Vader flies away after the destruction of the Death Star, you can see the 4 red points around the cockpit area lit up red. And then he obviously had the 2 more pronounced engine exhaust elements toward the rear of it. So this model kit doesn't have those on it, so I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do that so that they look accurate, or just not include that aspect of the lighting as part of it, and maybe just light the cockpit. But the cockpit is going to be pretty tight. What I think I will be able to use, again, this wonderfully thin LED strip that you can get from HDA Model Works, that just pumps out a great deal of light and extremely small, and you can just fit it in anywhere. And just like the larger LED tape, okay, you can cut it in sections of 3 and the circuit is still there. So I will probably make use of these to backlight things. There seems to be plenty of room to be able to fashion the tape in various ways for backlighting. What's interesting, there also does not seem to be yep, there's not. So the laser turrets are not part of the mold either. You can see them clearly in the photo of the actual studio model, but they are not molded onto this kit at all. So I'm going to have to fabricate the laser turrets for this particular kit. So that's what I'm contemplating doing, is really ramping up the look of this this particular kit and the other ones to do this either Death Star or Star Destroyer landing bay kind of diorama, because I know that in both cases, and we saw this in that horrible remake by J.J. Abrams, which is, you know, kind of ridiculous to say remake with J.J. Abrams, because all he does is remake other people's movies, because he has no real artistic creativity himself. But the TIE fighters are suspended by some kind of grappling contraption. So I'm going to try to find some good screenshots of that and move from there with it. Oh, okay. So you can see the piece that I'm talking about in the photo. Sorry, it's a little dusty. But see this piece right here? On the Darth Vader TIE fighter, that is one of the 4 pieces that's on the back side that is like a control thruster or impulse engine of some kind that's lit up red. For some reason, on the TIE Interceptor, they've taken those pieces and put them onto either side of the front. Not sure why they did that. Yes, it looks kind of cool, and they were just, you know, greeblying this thing to make it fit with the aesthetic overall. But it seems like that should have been something they would have put more care into placing to try to get some consistency with the engineering of these ships. And I know physics and engineering is not really part of the Star Wars universe, especially now with that stupid second reboot movie, that Last Jedi thing, where you don't even need weapons anymore because your whole ship can be turned into a weapon and you can just hyperdrive into anything you want and blow it to pieces, which completely undoes the entirety of all the space battles from all of the other films. Again, this whole, you know, Kathleen Kennedy having control of Lucasfilm under Disney, just what a travesty that has been. But they still should have done something in terms of consistency to the engineering with at least the Imperial ships. And see, you can see it maybe a little bit on the small image down here. So for the regular TIE fighter, there would be 2 of them, one on each side, and you can see the red light in it, hopefully with the camera there. So I'm not sure why they have that on the front, because that just does not make any sense. But oh well, unless this thing can fly backwards, which, you know, once you've seen the reboot Battlestar Galactica, you understand that if you're doing actual ships for fighting in space and stuff, you want to have all those reaction control thrusters that allow your ship to do all of those funky maneuvers, which made the Battlestar reboot so cool for their combat scenes. Watching how a Viper would actually operate in space as opposed to the original series back in the late 70s. That was really cool to see, the ships actually being given the kind of maneuverability that they would have to have in space. So there's this kit, and I think I'll do another unboxing to compare it with the regular TIE fighters in just a bit.